The Galactic Wildlife Preserve on Station 12 was famous across 3 star systems. Species from dozens of worlds lived there in carefully made habitats. The preserve drew visitors from everywhere. Scientists came to study. Families came to learn. Politicians came to show they cared about nature. The station was a marvel of alien engineering, built by the over 200 years ago. Overseer stood at the viewing window of the medical wing. Her 4 arms were crossed tight against her chest. Her silver scales caught the artificial light as she watched the chaos below. Inside the examination room, a small creature was causing big problems. The cub was the size of a medium dog with soft blue fur and 6 legs. Its large golden eyes were wide with fear. They were rare. They came from a dying world. The preserve had worked for years to save them. This cub was only 3 months old. It had been found alone in its enclosure that morning, its mother nowhere to be seen. Now it would not stop screaming. The sound was terrible. It was high and sharp. It cut through the walls. It made everyone's teeth hurt. The cub ran in circles. It crashed into tables. It knocked over equipment. 3 medical staff had already been scratched trying to catch it. "How long has this been going on?" asked Administrator. He was a tall and thin with dark purple skin. He had come running when he heard the reports. 4 hours, said. Her voice was tired. "We have tried everything." She was not lying. They had tried soft nets. The cub had torn through them. They had tried calming sounds from it. The cub had screamed louder. They had tried special food treats. The cub had ignored them completely. They had even brought in a specialist who claimed to speak to animals through mental connection. The cub had bitten him. "Where is the mother?" asked. "We found her in the back of the habitat. She is sick, some kind of infection. We separated the cub so we could treat her, but now," gestured at the chaos below. The cub slammed into a wall. It bounced off. It kept running. Its cries were getting weaker now, but not because it was calming down. It was getting tired, exhausting itself. That was dangerous for such a young animal. "If we do not catch it soon, it will hurt itself badly," the medical chief said. His name was Doctor. He was alike but older with darker scales. "Or its heart will give out from stress." "Use a sedation beam," said. "We tried twice. The cub is too fast, it keeps moving. The beam cannot lock on." Made a frustrated sound. "This is ridiculous. We are one of the most advanced facilities in the sector. We have technology that can map a brain cell by cell, and we cannot catch one small animal." No one had an answer. Down in the examination room, the cub hit another table. Medical tools scattered across the floor. A nurse dove out of the way. The cub kept running. Its golden eyes were wild. Foam was starting to form at its mouth. "We are running out of time," Doctor said quietly. The door to the observation deck slid open. Everyone turned. A human walked in. Her name was Maya. She was one of 7 humans working at the preserve. The humans had arrived 2 years ago after Earth joined the Galactic Collective. They were still new to the stars, still learning. Most aliens thought of them as primitive but interesting, like children who had just learned to walk. Maya was small compared to most aliens. She had dark hair tied back and brown eyes that moved quickly, taking everything in. She wore the simple gray uniform of a junior caretaker. "I heard about the cub," she said. "Can I help?" Looked at her, the human was young, inexperienced, but there was something calm about her that liked. "We have tried everything," said. "Our best handlers cannot get close. Our technology is not working. The cub is too frightened." Maya walked to the window. She watched the cub for a long moment. It was still running, but slower now. Its cries were becoming whimpers. Its legs were shaking. "Poor thing," Maya said softly. "It does not understand what is happening. It just wants to feel safe." "Obviously," said. His tone was sharp. "But we cannot make it feel safe if we cannot catch it." Maya did not seem bothered by his rudeness. She kept watching the cub. Then she said something strange. Do you have any cardboard? Everyone stared at her. Cardboard, repeated. She was not sure she had heard correctly. Yes, a box made of cardboard about this big. Maya held her hands apart to show the size. Empty, just the box. Made a sound that might have been a laugh. Human, this is a serious situation. We do not have time for jokes. I am not joking, Maya said. Her voice was still calm, still patient. I would like to try something, please. It will not hurt the cub and nothing else is working. There was a moment of silence. Doctor looked at Maya. The human's eyes were steady, certain. We do have packing materials in storage, said slowly. Some of our supplies come in boxes made from plant fiber, similar to your cardboard. That would work, Maya said. Can someone get one, please hurry? Nodded at an assistant who ran off, was shaking his head. This is foolish, he said. What can a box do that our technology cannot? Maya smiled slightly. Sometimes the simple things work best. The assistant returned quickly. He was carrying a brown box. It was plain and ordinary, nothing special about it at all. Maya took it and examined it. She nodded. Perfect, she said. I am going in. Wait, doctor said. The cub has already injured 3 staff members. It is frightened and desperate. It may attack you. I will be careful, Maya said. She walked to the door that led down to the examination room. She took a deep breath. Then she went inside. The cub saw her immediately. It froze, its golden eyes fixed on this new threat. Its mouth opened, showing small but sharp teeth. A low growl came from its throat. Maya stopped walking. She was about 10 meters from the cub. She did not move toward it. Instead, she did something that made everyone watching very confused. She set the cardboard box on the floor. She pushed it gently so it slid a little way toward the cub. Then she sat down on the floor herself, crossed her legs, and became very still. Nothing happened. The cub watched her. Maya watched the cub. The box sat between them. What is she doing? Demanded. I do not know, said, but she leaned closer to the window, suddenly very interested. Minutes passed. The cub stayed frozen watching Maya. Its growl faded. Its mouth slowly closed. It seemed confused. This was not what it expected. Every other creature had chased it, had tried to grab it. This one just sat there. Maya did not move. She did not speak. She did not even look directly at the cub. Her gaze was soft, unfocused, patient. More minutes passed. Then slowly the cub took a step, not away from Maya, toward the box. It stopped. It looked at Maya. Maya did not react. Another step. Then another. The cub reached the box. It sniffed the edges. It walked around it once, twice, 3 times. Then very slowly, the cub climbed inside the box. It curled up. It tucked its 6 legs under its body. Its golden eyes blinked once, twice. Then they closed. Within seconds, the cub was asleep. No one on the observation deck moved. No one spoke. They all stared at the impossible scene below. After 4 hours of chaos and fear and failed attempts, a human had walked in with a cardboard box and solved everything in 10 minutes. Maya stood up very carefully. She did not touch the box. She walked slowly, quietly back to the door. She slipped through it and came back to the observation deck. Everyone was still staring at her. It should sleep for a while now, Maya said. When it wakes up, it will be calmer. Then you can do your examination. How? Started. She stopped. She did not know what to ask first. How did you do that? Doctor finished for her. Maya shrugged. On Earth, we have animals called cats. Small predators, very independent, very easily scared. When cats are frightened, they hide in small spaces. Boxes, bags, anything enclosed. It makes them feel protected, safe. She looked back at the window. The cub was still sleeping peacefully in its cardboard box. I thought maybe it would work with the cub. They are about the same size as our bigger cats. 6 legs instead of 4, but the behavior seemed similar. Frightened and overwhelmed. looking for somewhere to hide, somewhere safe. "But why not just build a small space?" asked. His voice had lost its sharpness. Now he sounded genuinely curious. "Why did it have to be that specific box?" "I do not know exactly," Maya admitted. "With cats, the box has to be the right size. Not too big, not too small, just enough to feel enclosed. And it helps if the animal finds it on its own, makes its own choice to go inside. That is why I pushed it toward the cub but did not force anything. I just gave it an option. It chose to take it." Was looking at Maya with new respect. "You learned this from watching your Earth animals." "We have lived with cats for thousands of years," Maya said. "We have learned some of their secrets." She smiled, and there was something warm in it. Something that reminded that humans, for all their primitive technology, had something valuable. They had spent ages learning to understand the other creatures on their world. They had developed a patience that many more advanced species had forgotten. "The cub will need its mother soon," Maya added. "When the mother is well enough, you should reunite them. In the meantime, let the cub keep the box. It will help." She turned to leave, then stopped. "Also, if you have any fish-like food, you might put some near the box. Not inside, just near. Cats like to have food close to their safe places. It might work for the cub too." Then she walked out, leaving everyone staring after her. Doctor was the first to move. "I will prepare the examination," he said, "and find some fish." Nodded slowly. She was still watching the door where Maya had disappeared. Something had shifted in her mind. A small thing, but important. Perhaps humans were not as primitive as everyone thought. Word spread quickly through Station 12. By the next day, everyone knew about the human and the cardboard box. The story grew with each telling. Some versions said Maya had whispered magic words. Others said she had some kind of mental power. A few claimed she had bribed the cub with secret Earth treats. Maya heard the rumors and shook her head. She tried to explain that it was simple animal behavior, nothing magical, nothing special, just observation and patience. But the other species did not seem to believe her. "You are being modest," said her friend. He was another human, tall and cheerful, who worked in the preserve's botanical section. "Let them think you have powers. It is good for our reputation." "Our reputation should be built on truth," Maya said, "not myths. The truth is you did something no one else could do. That is worth celebrating." Maya was not sure about that. She had just used knowledge from home. Anyone could have done it, but she let the subject drop. The cub was doing well. After its long sleep in the cardboard box, it had woken calm and quiet. Doctor had been able to examine it properly. The cub was healthy, a little thin from the stress, but nothing serious. They had given it food and water. They had let it keep the box. The mother was recovering too. Her infection was responding to treatment. In a few days, she would be well enough to reunite with her cub. Everyone was relieved. But Maya found herself thinking about something else, about the way the other species had reacted, their surprise, their confusion, like they had never considered such a simple solution. She mentioned this to Doctor when she visited the medical wing to check on the cub. "Your people have much advanced technology," she said carefully. "But sometimes I wonder if that makes you forget the simple things." Doctor considered this. He was old and wise enough to not take offense. "Perhaps," he said, "when you have machines that can solve most problems, you stop looking for other answers. You stop observing, stop thinking. You just let the machines do the work." He looked at the cub, which was playing with the edge of its cardboard box, happy and peaceful. "Humans do not have our machines yet," he continued. "So you have kept the old skills, the patience, the watching, the understanding of other creatures." Maya nodded slowly. "On Earth, we lived with animals for all of our history. We had to understand them to survive, to hunt them, to tame them, to live beside them. It is part of who we are." "It is a valuable part," Doctor said, "more valuable than many realize." Their conversation was interrupted by an alert. A message appeared on Doctor's screen. His expression changed as he read it. "There is another problem," he said. "In the aviary section, one of our rarest birds has escaped its enclosure. They cannot get it back inside. The same situation as the cub. Similar, the bird is frightened. It keeps flying away from the staff. They are worried it will hurt itself." Maya thought for a moment. What kind of bird is it? "A stellar peacock from the system. Very beautiful, very skittish. It has been in an artificial habitat all its life. It does not know how to survive outside of it." "Has anyone tried turning off the lights?" Doctor blinked. "Turning off the lights, why would that help?" "Many birds become calm in darkness," Maya explained. "They think it is night, time to sleep. If you darken the room, the peacock might settle down. Then someone could approach it slowly with a soft cloth." Doctor stared at her for a long moment. Then he started typing rapidly on his screen. "I am sending your suggestion to the aviary team," he said. "This is remarkable, Maya. How do you know these things?" "Earth has birds too," Maya said simply. "Millions of different kinds. I grew up with them." The solution worked. 30 minutes later, Maya heard that the stellar peacock was back in its enclosure, unharmed. The aviary team was amazed. They had been preparing to use nets and sedation beams. Turning off the lights had never occurred to them. More stories began to spread. The human who understood animals, who solved problems with simple tricks instead of complex technology. Maya found herself being called to different sections of the preserve. A frightened reptile that would not eat, a nervous mammal that kept attacking its own reflection, a confused amphibian that had stopped swimming. Each time Maya watched the animal, she thought about what she knew from Earth. She tried simple things. Sometimes they worked. Sometimes they did not, but often enough they did. Noticed what was happening. She called Maya to her office. "You are becoming famous," the overseer said. "Some of the staff are calling you the animal speaker." "I just use common sense," Maya said. She felt uncomfortable with the attention. Any human might know these things. "But any human is not here. You are," leaned forward. "I would like to give you a new position, a special role. You would work across all sections of the preserve, consulting on animal behavior, training other staff in your methods." Maya was surprised. "You want me to teach aliens how to understand animals?" "I want you to share your knowledge, your perspective, the way humans see other creatures." Silver scales glinted. "It is valuable. I was wrong to think of humans as primitive. You have skills we have forgotten, or perhaps never had." Maya thought about this for a long moment. It was a big responsibility, a big change from her simple caretaker duties. "I will need help," she said finally. "From the other humans on the station, we all have different knowledge, different experiences with Earth animals." "Then bring them in," said. "Create a team, do whatever you need." "And I will make mistakes," Maya added. "Earth animals and alien animals are not the same. What works for one might not work for another. We expect mistakes. We learn from them. That is how progress happens." Maya nodded slowly. "Then I accept." Made a gesture that was the equivalent of a smile. "Good. Welcome to your new position, consultant." The first thing Maya did was gather the other humans. There were 7 of them in total from different parts of Earth with different backgrounds. From Brazil, who knew about rainforest creatures. From Japan, who had studied marine life. David from Kenya, who had grown up watching African wildlife. From Russia, who understood cold weather animals. The others had their own specialties. They met in one of the small conference rooms. Maya explained what had proposed. She was nervous, not sure how the others would react. But they were excited. "Finally," David said, grinning widely. "A chance to show what we know. I have been wanting to help with the mammal section for months. They keep making the same mistakes." "The aquatic habitats could use some work too," added. "I have seen things that made me cringe. They do not understand water creatures at all." The conversation grew lively. Everyone had ideas. Everyone had observations they had been keeping to themselves, not sure if anyone would listen. "We need to be careful," Maya said, holding up her hand. "We are not here to criticize. We are here to help, to share what we know. If we act superior or rude, no one will want to learn from us." "Maya is right," said. "We have to be patient, humble. These species have been managing this preserve for 200 years. They will not like being told they are doing things wrong." "So we show them instead of telling them," suggested. "We demonstrate. Let them see the results for themselves, like Maya did with the cub." Everyone agreed this was a good approach. They began making plans: who would work with which section, what techniques they would try first, how they would document their methods so others could learn. It was the beginning of something new, something none of them had expected when they came to the stars. The weeks that followed were challenging but rewarding. Maya and her team spread across the preserve, offering their knowledge. Sometimes they were welcomed. Sometimes they were met with suspicion or doubt, but they kept working, kept showing results. David helped the mammal section redesign their enclosures. He showed them that many animals needed more space to run, more places to hide, more variety in their environment. "Animals get bored," he explained. "Just like people, they need stimulation, things to explore, things to do." The section leaders were skeptical at first, but when they tried his suggestions, the animals became healthier, more active, more likely to breed. The numbers spoke for themselves. Worked with the aquatic section. She taught them about water currents and lighting cycles, about how different fish needed different environments. "You cannot put a deep-sea creature in bright light," she said. "It stresses them, makes them sick." Again, the results were clear. Fish that had been dying began to thrive. Species that had refused to breed started having offspring. The aquatic staff began asking for more advice. "Help the preserve understand their jungle habitats. The humidity is wrong," he said. "The temperature changes are too sudden. These creatures need stable conditions, gradual changes." Changes were made. Plants grew better. Animals became more active. Even the insects, which no one had paid much attention to, began to flourish. Each human contributed something. Each brought knowledge from a different part of Earth. And slowly, the preserve began to transform. Not everyone was happy. Some of the older staff resented the humans. They had been doing their jobs for decades. They did not like being told to change. "Who are these primitives to tell us what to do?" one complained. "They barely have space travel. What do they know about running a preserve?" But even the doubters could not argue with the results. Animal health improved across the station. Breeding rates went up. Behavioral problems went down. The preserve's reputation, already good, became even better. Visitors started asking about the humans. "We heard you have Earth specialists," they would say. "Can we see them work?" Maya found this embarrassing. She did not want to be a spectacle, but convinced her it was good for the preserve, good for humanity's image in the galaxy. "You are showing what humans can offer," the overseer said. "Not technology, not weapons, something else, something precious." "What is that?" Maya asked. "Connection, understanding, the ability to see other creatures not as problems to solve but as beings to know." Paused. "Many species have lost this. We have become too focused on control, on domination. You remind us that there is another way." Maya thought about this for a long time. She had never considered herself special. She had just done what seemed natural, what any human might do. But perhaps that was exactly the point. Perhaps humanity's gift to the galaxy was not some amazing invention or powerful weapon. Perhaps it was simply the way they saw the world, the way they connected with other living things. It was a strange thought, but it felt right. 3 months after Maya first helped the cub, something wonderful happened. The cub's mother was fully recovered. They were ready to be reunited. The whole preserve gathered to watch. It was a big moment, were rare and precious. The mother and cub were important for the species' survival. Their reunion was a symbol of hope. Maya was given a place of honor near the front. She tried to refuse but insisted. "You saved the cub," the overseer said. "You deserve to see this." The habitat doors opened. The mother emerged first. She was larger than the cub with deeper blue fur. She looked around cautiously. Then she made a sound, a soft call. From the other side of the habitat, the cub appeared. It was bigger now, healthier. It saw its mother and froze. For a moment, nothing happened. Everyone held their breath. Then the mother called again. The cub's ears perked up. Recognition flooded its golden eyes. It ran to its mother. The two pressed together, making soft sounds. The cub tried to climb onto its mother's back like it had when it was smaller. It was too big now, and they both tumbled over in a heap of blue fur. The crowd laughed. Even the serious made sounds of amusement. It was a perfect moment. Maya found herself crying. She did not know why. It was just an animal reunion, but something about it touched her deeply. Noticed her tears. He did not say anything. He just put a hand on her shoulder. Later, as the crowd dispersed, Doctor approached Maya. "The cub still has the cardboard box," he said. "We tried to take it away once, but it became upset, so we let it keep the box." Maya smiled. "Good, it is its safe place. Maybe it will not need it forever, but for now let it have that comfort." "You have taught us much," Doctor said. "About animals, about patience, about simple solutions." He paused, then added, "about humans." Maya did not know what to say, so she just nodded. The future stretched out before her. There was so much more work to do, so much more to learn, so much more to share. But for now she was content to watch the family through the habitat window. Mother and cub together again, safe, happy, at peace. It was a small thing in the grand scale of the galaxy, but sometimes small things mattered most. Maya had come to the stars hopping to find wonders. She had not expected to become one herself. But here she was, a human among aliens, using cardboard boxes and common sense to save lives, teaching ancient species new tricks. It was strange, it was unexpected, it was wonderful. And it was only the beginning. The months continued to pass. Maya and her human team became a permanent part of Station 12. Their methods spread to other preserves across the sector. Other humans were recruited to join the effort. The work grew. But Maya never forgot that first day. The screaming cub, the useless technology, the simple cardboard box. Sometimes late at night she would visit the habitat. The cub was almost full-grown now. It no longer needed its box to feel safe. It was confident, strong, ready to face whatever came next. Just like humanity itself. They had come to the stars with little to offer. No great ships, no powerful weapons, no ancient wisdom, just themselves, their curiosity, their compassion, their strange ability to connect with other living things. It was enough, more than enough. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders. But perhaps the greatest wonder of all was the simple truth that Maya had discovered. Sometimes when the most advanced technology fails, when the minds are stumped, when everything seems hopeless, the answer is not more complexity. Sometimes the answer is just a cardboard box. And a human patient enough to use it. The stars shone outside Station 12. The preserve hummed with life. And somewhere in the habitat, a mother and her cub slept peacefully, dreaming whatever dreams aliens dream. All because one human had looked at a frightened creature and seen not a problem to solve but a being to understand. That was humanity's gift to the galaxy, not strength, not technology, not conquest. Understanding. And a really good cardboard box. A year after Maya's famous rescue, a delegation arrived at Station 12. They were from the Galactic Council, the governing body that oversaw all the systems in this part of space. They had come for an official visit. Administrator was nervous. A council delegation was a big deal. Everything had to be perfect. He ran around the station making sure every detail was in place. They will inspect our facilities, he told the senior staff. They will question our methods. They will judge our results. We must impress them. Was calmer. We have done good work, she said. Let the work speak for itself. The delegation arrived on a beautiful ship, sleek and silver. There were 5 council members, each from a different species. Their leader was a tall being called High Observer. She was ancient, with pale blue skin and eyes that seemed to see everything. The tour began. The delegation walked through the preserve, observing habitats and asking questions. They seemed pleased with what they saw. Then they reached the habitat. Ah, High Observer said, the famous, we have heard much about this species, and about how one of your humans saved a cub. Straightened proudly. Yes, High Observer, it was remarkable. The human used unconventional methods to calm the creature. We would like to hear about it, from the human directly. Maya was summoned. She came quickly, a little nervous about speaking to such important beings, but she held herself steady. Tell us what happened, said. Her voice was gentle but commanding. Maya told the story. The frightened cub, the failed attempts, the cardboard box, the patient waiting, the simple solution. When she finished, the council members were quiet for a moment, then spoke. Why did you think a box would work? I did not know for certain, Maya admitted. But on Earth we have animals called cats. They behave similarly when frightened. They seek small, enclosed spaces. It makes them feel protected. I thought the cub might feel the same way. You applied knowledge from your home world to an alien species. Yes, High Observer. Even though you had no proof it would work. I had a guess. Sometimes that is all you have. Considered this. Her ancient eyes studied Maya with interest. Humans have only been part of the collective for a short time, she said. Yet you have already made an impact here. I am told your methods have spread to other preserves. We try to help where we can, Maya said. What do you think is the reason for your success? Maya thought carefully before answering. I think we see animals differently than some species do. We grew up with them, lived beside them, depended on them. They are not strangers to us. They are family. Family, repeated. The word seemed to intrigue her. Not literally, but in feeling. We care about them. We want to understand them. We do not see them as resources or specimens. We see them as living beings with their own needs and fears and desires. The council members exchanged glances. Something passed between them, some silent communication. You have given us much to consider, said finally. The collective has many preserves, many zoos, many facilities that house alien creatures. Perhaps they could all benefit from human perspective. She turned to, we would like to recommend an expansion of the human program, training more humans, sending them to other stations. What do you think, Overseer? Silver scales shimmered with surprise and pleasure. I think that would be excellent, High Observer. Maya and her team have proven their worth many times. Then it shall be done, looked back at Maya. You have started something important, young human. We will be watching with great interest. The delegation moved on. Maya stood still for a moment, overwhelmed by what had just happened. Appeared beside her. Did the council just say they want more humans? I think so, Maya said faintly. That is amazing. We are going to be famous. We are going to be busy, Maya corrected. Very, very busy. But she was smiling. This was good news, better than good. This was a chance to help more creatures, to share more knowledge, to show the galaxy what humans could do. It was everything she had hoped for and more. The program expanded rapidly. Humans were recruited from Earth. They were trained at Station 12, then sent to preserves across the sector. Maya oversaw the training, making sure each new human understood the philosophy. We are not here to take over, she told them. We are here to assist, to observe, to suggest, never force, never insist, let the results speak. The new humans listened. They learned. They went out into the galaxy and did good work. Reports came back regularly. Success stories from a dozen different stations. Animals saved. Problems solved. Relationships built between humans and aliens who had once viewed each other with suspicion. Not everything was easy. There were failures, mistakes, animals that could not be helped, methods that did not work. Maya learned to accept these setbacks as part of the process. We cannot save everyone, she told her team. But we try, that is what matters. The years passed. Maya grew older. Her dark hair gained streaks of gray. Her steps became slower, but her eyes remained sharp. Her mind remained active. She was no longer just a caretaker. She was the director of the Human-Animal Connection Program. She had written books, given lectures, trained hundreds of specialists. And through it all, she kept one thing in her office, a simple cardboard box, old and worn now but still intact, a reminder of where it all began. Visitors often asked about it. It was the first one, Maya would say. The one the cub chose. When the cub outgrew it, gave it to me as a gift. She said it was the most valuable thing on the station. A cardboard box, the visitors would ask, confused. Not just a box, Maya would explain. A symbol, a reminder that sometimes the simplest things hold the greatest power, that understanding matters more than technology, that patience can solve what force cannot. She would touch the worn edges gently. This box changed my life. It changed humanity's place in the galaxy. It showed everyone what we had to offer. And what is that? The visitors would ask. Maya would smile. Heart, she would say, simply heart. Maya passed away at the age of 93, surrounded by friends and family. Her memorial service was held at Station 12, in the preserve she had helped transform. Beings came from across the sector to pay their respects, aliens who had worked with her, humans she had trained, officials from the Galactic Council, even a few animals brought by their caretakers to honor the woman who had understood them so well. The cub, now fully grown and a parent itself, watched from its habitat. Its golden eyes were calm, peaceful. It did not understand what was happening, but it seemed to sense the importance of the moment. Spoke at the service. She was very old now, her scales faded to pale silver, but her voice was still strong. Maya came to us as a stranger, she said, a member of a species we did not understand. We thought humans were primitive, simple. We were wrong. She paused, looking out at the crowd. Maya showed us that wisdom does not always come from technology. That understanding is more valuable than control. That sometimes the answer to our greatest problems is a cardboard box and a patient heart. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. The program she built has spread across the galaxy. Thousands of humans now work in preserves and zoos and wildlife centers. They carry her teachings with them. Her legacy lives on. His voice softened. Maya once told me that humanity's gift to the galaxy was not strength or technology. It was connection, the ability to see other creatures as beings to know, not problems to solve. She looked toward the habitat. She was right, and we are all better for knowing her. The service ended. The crowd dispersed. Life continued as it always does. But something had changed in the galaxy, a small thing, but important. Humans were no longer seen as primitives. They were seen as connectors, bridge builders, beings who could reach across the gap between species and find common ground. All because one young woman had looked at a frightened cub and thought of a cardboard box. It was a strange legacy, an unlikely one, but it was perfect. Maya had changed the stars, not with weapons or ships or grand inventions, with kindness, with patience, with understanding. With a simple cardboard box and the courage to try something new. That was the human way. That was humanity's gift. and the galaxy would never forget it. Far across the sector, on a small station orbiting a distant star, a young human was starting her first day of work at a wildlife preserve. She was nervous. The aliens were so different from anything she had known on Earth. The animals were strange and wonderful. She did not know if she could do this. Then she saw something in the corner of the staff room, a cardboard box, old and worn with a small plaque beside it. The plaque read, "In memory of Maya, who taught us that the simplest things can change the universe." The young human smiled. She took a deep breath. She walked out to meet her first alien colleague. The legacy continued. The boxes were ready, and humanity kept reaching out, one creature at a time, showing the galaxy what connection really meant.